And good morning, everyone. And do not touch your TVs. No, this is not South Florida. It is beautiful Pimlico. Ron Nicoletti along with Samantha Perry. Samantha, if you're next to me, I know things are going to be good.
Hey, I feel the same way. We're back here. It's good to have Ron with us. It was my first Preakness last year, and I didn't have you.
Yeah, I missed it for 1 year, but I'm back and hope stronger than ever. And we'll try and have a really great time. And you talk about, and we always joke in Florida about the weather. Today is a Chamber of Commerce day. Now, we had a little rain a couple of days ago, so we're off the turf today. But boy, was it gorgeous out this morning, just walking around the Steaks Barn and seeing everyone. It was really a beautiful, beautiful morning. And let's check out those weather conditions right now and see what we got. We got that fast main track. Of course, I mentioned we're off the turf. Our first race post at 12:35 p.m. And look at that temperature, 72.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I know you were just itching to say a Chamber of Commerce day here, and it seems like we brought some good weather here from Florida, and fingers crossed, it stays with us, huh?
Yeah, you know, the pick five pool is almost $5,000 and 50-cent pick three. You can see we got the jackpot super high five a little later on. Getting lots of good stuff going on. So let's, just delve into the first race. And as I mentioned, we're going to have a lot of scratches today because we had 4 of the 8 races scheduled for the turf. And of course, with the rain, we got to keep it. It should be beautiful for tomorrow.
It should, yep.
The turf course I'm talking about, the main track is beautiful right now. So this first race originally scheduled for the turf is going to be around at 5 furlongs on the main track. And it's a starter optional claimer for fillies and mares, and there was some scratches in here of the 3, the 4, the 6, the 8, the 9, and the number 11. Of course, I will update the scratches as the afternoon goes on. With that said, Samantha, how did you go in this race? I see we both have the number 7 on top. Looked like the logical one, Bandit's Warrior.
Yeah, this horse with really the lone one in the field with so much dirt experience, and all 5 wins of hers came on the dirt track, which you like to see here. She's going to be a short price. Well, she already is. It's very early in the wagering, but of course she figures here. She's got some speed if they want to use it, and she looks the one to beat, especially off the grass.
I wanted to show the number 10. Number 10 today, it's Golden Can. This is its last race. We can pick it up, albeit it's on the turf. But there you can see, and Golden Can just running a great race on the inside. And I just thought that this horse was game. And I think the turn back to 5 furlongs is going to help. This is 5.5 on the grass. And just there right at the wire. So, just thought this horse ran exceptionally well. And I think off that performance, if it can translate to the main track,
yep,
could be dangerous in here. And like you said early in the board, currently up there at 5-2.
Yeah, and this is a horse, too, that is yet to win on a fast track or the dirt track, but I still think is one that now she just kind of figures by default with the scratches in here, and at least we know she'll try her best effort.
And the number 2, Speak Your Mind, was entered for the main track. I see you got some interest in that horse.
This was a smart move by the connections here. They can read the weather forecast. This horse has some speed as well. 4 wins on the fast main track here, which you like to see, and this is a pretty significant drop in class as well.
So race number 1 looks like 7's going to end up being a favorite, and once again, that'll be contested on a fast main track. And if you're just joining us, beautiful day here. I'm going to flip the page and go to race number 2 now, and this one is going to be a 6 furlong sprint. It's a starter optional claimer, and this is a very interesting race. Lost a couple of horses in here, the 6 Top Boss and the number 8 Communication Memo. So a couple of scratches out of race 2. But I was really impressed with the performance of Clem Levine, who they put blinkers on. I want to go show you what happened. This was at Aqueduct, and this horse, this is the first time ever with blinkers, and just says to adios, I'll see you next week, to the people. Just ran off on the screen. And you being a former jockey and knowing, could blinkers do this?
Sometimes they do. This is what you want to happen whenever you make that move here, and this horse really just responded well. And how about that, an 8-year-old just trying new things? And here's the thing with 8-year-olds is whenever you change something up, sometimes they can get really complacent, and it kind of looks like when you look at his form, he just was not really doing much at all, and they put those blinkers on, and he ran well. Now, how strong is that race in hindsight? I think against a group like this, it's okay.
Yeah, and we had our exact flip-flop. You went with the number 7, Kadri, in here. This one from Jamie Ness, and just looked 2 starts back. Now, that was on a sealed sloppy track.
Yeah.
Was very impressive, but comes back and runs okay last time out.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a horse that fits well in this spot, especially with the scratches as well. Jamie Ness is just such a prolific trainer around these parts, and just such a high percentage winning trainer. So I think that it's always smart to include him.
Yeah, and the number 2 is Brittany Russell would be West, turning back this afternoon. And, comes out of a pretty good race that produced a couple of next out winners. And is Brittany Russell, talking about someone who's sort of owned Maryland the last year or two. So you got to pay attention to that. And I was looking at the daily racing form this morning. A lot of people in the racing form who I respect picked this horse on top. Some of them made it their best bet. You and I went a little different way.
Yeah, we did. Well, there's just such a big layoff to deal with here. That's why I just was fine, comfortable underneath.
Well, the third race this afternoon was originally scheduled for the turf, now to be run at 1 mile, and was 1 mile on turf, now to be run at 1 mile and 1/16 on the main track. And we did have some scratches in the 3, the 7, the 11, and the number 13. And just an interesting race now with the how the races play out. And what did you see here in race number 3?
Well, the 12, the main track only entry. This is another horse that's going to be a short price. She's a 6-year-old mare. She's got all of her best work on the main track. And I feel like she's maybe a cut below some of these horses. But I feel like now, especially with the surface switch, she's one that's shown I would say 2-turn speed is probably her best way to describe her. And she's got one start at Pimlico, but it wasn't a good effort, and that's another thing to pay attention to. A lot of these horses are making that switch from Laurel to Pimlico.
Yeah, and when you for handicap in the first couple of days come in, the Thursday, the first couple of week or so, you always look horses that ran well in the past. I find that run well here. It's a sort of different surface, different configuration, and they seem to like it better. I did go with talking about speed. That's what I saw with the change to the main track with the number 8 horse Esperana. Just looks like this horse has got speed on the turf, has been able to carry it to the main track 5 times on the fast, 21 times on the fast main track with 5 wins. So I thought maybe this is my speed play. You make a great point with the number 12, and then you just see how it goes. And you also use the number 2 in here, Motough.
Yeah, this horse a bit of a price play, but the thing about this horse that I like is that she's just been a little bit consistent in this conditional claiming type of level here. Now, this is a big step up for her, I know, but this is a horse that I feel like she tries hard, and that's a big thing within this race, and maybe she can fill out some stuff underneath.
And ridden today by Raul Mena, so we'll see how that goes. We'll go to race number 4. Hey, a race with no scratches. 6 furlongs. This is an optional allowance claimer for $62,500 down at $50,000. And there you see your late pick 5 ticket there, and you single in the number. Which number 14 in here?
Oh, I think that was supposed to be the 3. I don't know why it said the 14. That would be a huge field. I'm not sure how that happened. Sorry about that, guys. But it is the singling the 3. Good night, God bless. Race 5. Just using 2 of them for me here, and that is the 1 on top. That is Charging Arrow. Race number 6. The number 3 is scratched out of here. Sorry, guys. I think there might be a wrong ticket up. Anyway, it is the start of the late pick 5, and it's a really good sequence here because I feel like there's a lot of spots that you could maybe hedge on.
Yeah, we can fix that ticket up and show it now. When we come back from the break, it just had a couple of wrong numbers down there. That happens. There's so much going on here this afternoon. So, getting back to this 4th race, everybody, talking about everybody picking a horse, everybody picked the horse that you had singled in here, and that is Good Night, Good Night, God Bless. And this horse looks like the one to beat.
Yeah, well, you went a different way, so I'm excited to hear what you thought. But this horse here, 2 starts back, was so impressive, albeit it was on a sloppy track. So that's not always ideal. I always say when a horse wins or loses on a sloppy track, ignore it, because sometimes they just run a lot better on it.
Yeah, and this horse, everybody spoke to, said it should have won its last race. Talking about Good Night, God Bless in here. Why did I make overly dramatic my best bet this afternoon? Because that race at Laurel, that was a really good race, produced a couple of next out winners, 2 winners from 4 starters. It's Brittany Russell, 60 cents to the dollar that day. Am I getting a little cute? If you're a buyer aficionado or something like that, you're not going to like it as much. But I just thought that this horse, second, won a couple of races. Why not try and beat it? And then I said, I really like this horse. I mean, on the board, it's 8 to 5 and 9 to the 5. So it's not that it's a big jump, but everybody's going to be betting that. But a pretty good race there. And then we also got the number 6, Dwelling Legacy, to close out our trifecta.
Well, the other Brittany Russell runner, and how many times do you see that? The other half of the uncoupled entry that runs a lot better.
Yeah, and she's 35% with horses going from a route to a sprint. So that was a mile last time. And as I mentioned today, going to try the 6 furlongs. So we're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we will let you know how we see the rest of this card on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. And we're back in here, and that's what we call a very short break, because we were just chatting as it went along. So that was rate 4, and very good race. So we're going to see how that plays out, but we're going to flip the page now, go to race number 5. And this one was originally scheduled for 5 in the turf. Now to be run at 5 on the fast main track. And boy, we had a couple of scratches in here with the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 7. And let's start it off with your horse in here, and that is the number 1 horse. We'll start with the Charging Arrow first.
I like this horse a lot today. This is first off the claim here. This is a claim from a barn that is so at Tampa. That's Derek Ryan, and I think that it's a sharp move. And the fact that this horse ran so well up front, when Tampa can be a tricky track sometimes, Ron. And that was a race, Group Hug, Buffalo, those are tough horses. And the fact that now he's back to company like this, he looks pretty solid in here. Yeah,
it looks pretty good. I want to show you Valiant Vinny. First of all, I like the name. Anybody that's Valiant and Vinny, he's just going to show you. Of course, it's on the turf, but I just thought this horse ran so well, drew clear to win it. So I'm sort of going to bank that this horse maybe can do this on the main track this afternoon. It's a little bit of a guess, but as you can see through my selections today, that I'm going with horses that I think might be able to speed up. This horse has run well at Pimlico in the past, albeit on the turf, but he's a 4-time winner on the main track. So just going to go with that speed play in race number 5. And with the scratches, we're basically in agreement with what we have on there.
Yeah.
We'll go to race number 6 now, and this one is 6 furlongs, and we do have a couple of scratches in here of the 3, Riley G, and the 4, Liberty Bell. Before we get into the 6th race, we just want to tell everybody this is some weekend that we're going to have here.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know that tomorrow's Black Eyed Susan Day, one of my favorite days in racing, and followed, of course, by the Preakness Stakes.
You know what's interesting is the Black Eyed Susans, my mother had started planting those now,
Yeah.
and they bloom. She said they just bloomed a week ago. She was like, it's like they know that it's coming.
Yeah, they know the Preakness is coming. See that? Yeah,
I like
those. I like those, the black and the yellow.
They're
the
very
colors,
pretty. Yeah, they're beautiful flowers.
Very, very pretty. So that is just but a little bit, just a little taste of what's happening tomorrow. Of course, we'll be on the air, somewhere on the air all day tomorrow, you and I, and
everywhere.
Callie, and we'll be joined by a host of great people here to help us out, giving you some good selections, that's for lack of a better term.
Some winners.
Yeah, winners, that's it. Well, I didn't want to say that. You went with Nightcap. This one I found interesting. In the race, the only one in for a tag.
Yes. That's okay, though, because this is a really potent barn, Darian Rodriguez. He brought horses over from Tampa during the wintertime to Gulfstream and was winning at a high percentage. You look at his just stats from the year, he's 17%. He's got horses at Monmouth. Good to see that he brought this horse down south to run here. Claimed from Gerald Bennett last time off of a huge victory. This horse has been so consistent, Ron. I've got to just ride on that consistency.
We've been talking about Brittany Russell, and I want to go back and show you. I believe this horse is the favorite this afternoon. So I want to go back and show you this race back last June 9th. And Fred, they're going to see at the start here. Great job by the guys upstairs. Just stumbles at the start and then just takes off like a rocket. Just keeps running there. And I thought ran a good race. And there you see the horse comes out. Now, Samantha, to me, it looks like, went up and you see gets second right away. But then after that, just stopped.
Yeah, and then after that stoppage, we hadn't seen this horse since then.
Yeah, so
that something went awry there. Now, this is the first time this filly is going to be facing older horses. You look at who she's running against. Horses like Pretty Mischievous, who was the Kentucky Oaks winner last year. Good horses.
And
Look
here's
at
the
this.
stumble.
Yeah,
I just wanted to show you this part of it.
Yeah, this
And you
is
just
not
really
where you want to be.
yeah. Then something might have, we're guessing something might have happened there, like you said, didn't get seen after that. But this is Brittany bringing back what looks like they thought was a really good horse, and so do we.
Yeah, I think so too. I'd like to just sit and watch one here, and that was why I was just willing to fade a little bit. But still, anything with this barn, you have to take very close attention to.
And the one horse, Samantha, I'm supposed to have this on my tickets just because of the name of the horse.
Well, I was going to say.
Forget about it,
Exactly.
which I say a lot of times, being an old Italian guy like that. Forget
you
about
do forget about
forget
it.
about it.
Forget about
So
a lot.
what did you see about forget about it?
Well, forget about his last race because he stumbled, he lost the jockey, just completely put a line through that one because that's just not a good effort in any means. And he's going to run on the dirt for the second time with these connections, and I like that.
So forget about the last race is what you're saying. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I got the 8-horse too on the ticket, that's Royal Whisper, and I thought maybe he had a chance to run in this spot, underneath. And the one, you can make a great case from Royal Whisper. Is it really, look at this horse. We've been talking about this. Look at this horse's record at Pimlico. 2 starts, 2 wins.
Yep.
So he's the old horse for course play. He's turned back in distance this afternoon. Mike Gorham is the trainer. Why can't this horse run well? 12-1 on the board. Never been beaten here at Pimlico.
It's awesome.
We're going to get hit in the head with a rock. We'll use them all today. So
Here we are.
the 7th race, originally scheduled for the turf at 1 mile and 1/16 to be run on the main track. And the scratches in here are the 1, the 5, the 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So really got hammered a little bit here in race number 7. That's interesting to see what you did.
Well, this race here to me is just a 2-horse race, and you see the same. I have the 7 on top. That is Priyanka, first time Lasix, first time in the U.S. here for trainer Graham Motion, and this is a barn that, wow, just every horse that he gets, especially on the grass, runs well. But this is a filly to me. I was hoping that they would get this race off the grass because I like her form a bit better on the dirt.
Yeah, and that race in Maidan, they actually produced the next couple of next out winners.
Right.
It was a long while ago. So anything he gets to his barn, exactly it. Like where you have it flip flopped. I went with the 2 of them there in that circle home, and just off this horse's performance in the past, I thought maybe can run well this afternoon. If the 7 doesn't do it first time in North America, I thought maybe the 2 can close. There's not much to choose in there, but only a 4-horse field. So 2-7, 7-2 might be the way to go. Once you put your tickets together, this is a spot where you maybe hit the old, like you do all the time, the all button.
All the time. Okay. And we did, thank you guys, we did get that late pick 5, so we'll show it after we finish the 8th race.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. So let's go to the 8th race. Boy, there's a standout in here with the number 7 horse, I would think. Search at 6-5 on the morning line. And boy, when you do the paper, you're looking for an old single in here. Maybe you do this with Kelly Ruby's horse. Just ran very well at the fairgrounds, ran very well at Laurel. I think this is the horse to beat.
Well, yeah, and in my ticket, and we'll look at it after this, I did spread in this race, but this mare does look like the one to beat. Now, it took her a long time to break her maiden, but they're not getting greedy with her. We've got Ben Curtis above to ride, and shout out to Ben Curtis, too. He had a Derby mount with Honor Marie, and,
right.
and just ran really well. They did such a good job with Honor Marie all throughout the Fairgrounds meet. He's made a good impression on me, especially with his riding at Fairgrounds, and he won on her at Fairgrounds 2 starts back.
We'll see how that works out. You have the number 4 in second. I want to hear about this because I didn't use Voodoo Priestess, so interesting to find out why.
Yeah, well, another one that took a while to break their maidens, and hey, this is a race where there's not really any great shakes, but I like the fact that the win around the 2 turns, 3 starts back was just a very strong effort. Now, it's come back and has faced winners not too well, but I think this horse could get a part of it.
Well, I went with the number one, Something Silly. You know, comes off that nice maiden win at Laurel. We're going a mile in the 16th. What I found interesting, this jockey and trainer angle in here, together they're 5 for 11. That's 6 for 11. That's 55% with the JG Torriabla and the trainer. So I thought just with that angle, maybe I'd throw it on the ticket.
Yeah, and she is a 3-year-old facing older, which is hard at this time of year, but still sometimes.
When do you think it changes? When 3-year-olds, it's so hard to gauge.
It is, yeah. I would say probably like midsummer. Yeah.
Well, here they write the maiden special weight races for 3, 4, or 5-year-olds.
Yeah, and that can be really tough sometimes. But sometimes you have a really strong 3-year-old. But to me, it's hard to just live and die by a horse like that.
Well, we're going to erase that previous ticket we show and
Yes.
put up the one that is right, and you'll see the 3-horse will. No, it's still 14. I'm
Nope.
still. Well, we're trying to get that ticket
Yeah.
up sooner or later. So we got it or we don't have it. We'll wait till later. Well, I guess we don't have it. So.
No, I guess we don't. That's okay. The suspicion will take over until then.
All right, so that's it for us for the early races. Have a great day. Oh, there it is. Is that it?
Yep.
There you go.
There we
Samantha with her beautiful face and everything.
So you see here, this is the late Big Five that starts in race 4, and I think that there's some opportunities to really hedge, and you could punch this a couple times if you want. You see I get into the singles with race 6. I'm singling the 2 Nightcap. That was the horse just coming off of a huge win at Tampa for Darian Rodriguez. Race number 7, and singling the 7 Priyanka, as Ron and I spoke. It's really just 7-2-2-7, but I don't think it makes sense to use both of them, Ron, and double the ticket.
And, in the 8th race, a lot of people are going to be singling the 7, as we mentioned. So if you can get any one of those other horses that use 2, 4, and 5, you're going to get a price.
Yep, you are, and I feel like that's a good way to get into the Preakness weekend, Ron, because you need to build the bankroll before tomorrow.
You got to get a nice bankroll going, and we'll tell you throughout the day what's all available and everything like that. So just a great day. So we're going to go and turn it over to the powers that be to give you the scratches and changes and everything else, and we'll be back here in some fashion throughout the afternoon.
We will.